Hundreds of New Mexico's worst drunk drivers have been catching a break. Each time they're convicted of DWI, their sentences are supposed to be increasingly stiff. But that's often not happening. Here's Alex Tomlin.
Dick, millions of dollars have been spent making sure that a driver can't escape his past. But DWI officials say that bad record keeping is leading to lenient sentences.
It's got to stop.
Linda Atkinson with the DWI Resource Center is fed up. She says some repeat DWI drivers are getting lighter sentences than they deserve.
Hundreds. Easily hundreds. You know it's frustrating for me, but can you imagine the family that gets wiped out by one of these drivers, and it has happened?
So what's going on? Well, prosecutors have to prove a drunk driver's past convictions in court.
We need certified copies. We just can't say we got a phone call from Farmington and yes, they said that he's got a conviction.
It's supposed to work like this. After a conviction, the court is supposed to send a summary of the case and sentence to the MVD. The MVD is in charge of keeping a record of every DWI conviction in the state. The problem is some summaries never get sent, or the case is more than 10 years old and the paperwork can't be found. The amount of mandatory prison time goes up with each conviction, going from 4 days after a second conviction to 2 years behind bars after a seventh conviction. Officials say hundreds of drunk drivers have gotten a break because prosecutors weren't able to prove previous convictions.
Lack of resources. If you want to blame anything, blame it on lack of resources. A lot of counties don't have the money to have the systems that can maintain these kinds of records.
And if they can't prove a conviction, it can't count towards a person's punishment. Case in point, Michael Lucero. The 46-year-old was arrested Friday night after backing out of this handicapped spot on East Central and almost hitting a cop car. He blew a .16.
He has 8 arrests. Of those 8, he has 3 convictions. 2 of the arrests have missing information. We don't know what happened.
Brandenburg is hopeful that they'll be able to prove Lucero's past convictions, but they're still looking for the paperwork from other counties. The DWI Resource Center estimates only about 30% of repeat drunk drivers are getting the mandatory sentences they actually deserve because prosecutors can't prove the past convictions. Dick?
Okay, Alex, the director of the MVD says courts can actually be penalized if they do not consistently send in those case summaries, but as far as he knows, the penalties have never been used.